What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another edition of King Print, where I cover all things screen printing, from tips and tricks to how to save and make more money. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Now in today's video, what I wanted to do is show you something that I've been asked a lot about, and that is, how do I start screen printing if I don't have a lot of money? I don't know if I have the budget or the space for it. Now that's the number one question I get asked often. Another issue I see a lot of people having is they want to start screen printing, but it looks real difficult. They have to have the emulsion, they have to have the exposure unit, they need to have the washout booth, they need to have the press, and the list goes on and on and on. Just seeing everything that you need to start printing, it just seems like a real big headache. So what I'm going to do here is show you how to easily print shirts cheap. From here on out, you have no excuses why you haven't started your print business. Now let's get right into it. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is get your image, get that printed up. In this case here, it's going to be my King Print logo. And if you have like a big image that you want to do, you can print it in two pieces. So what you're going to need is your image, some painter's tape, a good X-Acto knife, your screen, and a squeegee. How much is all that going to cost you? Not much. You can definitely get a used squeegee and a used screen for under 20 bucks. I mean, you can buy them brand new for 30, 40 bucks for the set. So we're gonna go ahead and get this going. So what you're gonna wanna do is cut out the printed image. Anything that's printed, you're gonna wanna get that cut out. And if this is gonna be for a customer, you're gonna wanna really take your time on this. My cuts here are really shaky. I'm just trying to save time and get this done quick. And this method is also good if you're already a screen printer and you have a job that you need to turn out quick, and you don't have any screens readily available, and you don't have any emulsion, or you don't want to wait for that emulsion to cure on the screen. And starting here, low point of entry, low cost. Once you get a few orders going, you can flip that money, start investing into some better equipment. You're not going to be dipping into your own actual pocket from your regular job to get all your equipment. It's just going to be snowballing from all these jobs you're doing. You buy another squeegee, you buy a press, that's actually how I did it. I didn't start with the stencil method, but I started very small. I started with the real inexpensive press. I started with a few screens, had like 2 colors of ink, and when I would get a job, I'd buy another screen. Get a job, I'd buy a different color ink, something else for the business. So pretty much now everything I have, my conveyor, flash dryer, my 4-on-4 press, everything I have there, it's pretty much parlayed just with house money, because I didn't spend any money from my job at the time to invest into my screen print business. I just started with a little bit of equipment, started advertising, started getting jobs, and just really flipping that money. So this right here, like I said, if you don't start printing using this method, I don't think you really wanted to be in the game. So those little inserts there, I'm gonna put them to the side because we're gonna reuse them in the print. So what you're gonna want to do is take your image here, invert it, and line it up on your screen. Not gonna measure anything, I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it here. You're gonna want to tape it off so it doesn't move. Keep in mind, any part of the screen that's exposed, the ink is going to go through. So right here, as you see the sides, I'm going to get those taped off too. And then those little pieces we put to the side, we're going to double side tape them, and we're going to put them right in the P and the R. So you're definitely going to want to remember this if you're printing any text and you have like a P, a R, a O, a D, anything with that little circle in the middle. So the first thing I'm going to do here is do a test print just to make sure nothing blotches out, we don't have any pinholes. So I'm going to be printing here on my kitchen table, and I'm doing it here on my table just to show you that you don't need any special equipment. You don't need a screen press, although it is recommended, but you don't need a screen press. You can do it right in your kitchen, in your living room, any flat surface that you have. Now don't do it on the floor if you have hardwood or tile or anything like that. It has to be a smooth flat surface. See that the paper is kind of flapping, it's flapping off the screen. And one of the reasons we're going to give it a test run is because once you coat it one time, the ink is going to act as an adhesive to the screen, and all that, the transfer is going to stick right up to the screen, and you're not going to have any issues. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hold down the screen to whatever surface you're printing on. So here it's my table. So you're going to want to give it firm pressure. Never hold it by the frame itself. And as I'm doing this here, I'm realizing that I didn't mask it off enough. The bottom and the top, I should have masked off more. As you can see there, I can't go that far down or that far up with the ink, because if I do, it's gonna bleed right into the shirt. But no worries, that's why we do this test run, to make sure we got it right. And a little side tip there is don't throw away your old rolls of painter's tape. They can act as a squeegee holder. So we go ahead and put that to the side. Now you got to remember, if you've never printed a shirt before, this is going to take some practice. You might mess up your first few shirts, but don't get discouraged. Starting out, I'd recommend you use a light garment with a dark ink, because the dark inks are going to be typically a little bit thinner. So it's going to clear the screen a lot easier. And if you do want to skip this step and jump right into a screen print press, I do have a press on sale right now from Amazon. So check the link in my description for screen print supplies on sale right now from Amazon. This is going to be the moment of truth here. Let's see if this comes out right. So this is going to be the actual print here, getting that lined up. And I also want to mention, this method will only work with a single color print, one pass, because let's say, for example, you wanted to get extra vibrant white. You're not going to be able to give it two passes, just because once the screen comes off of the shirt, there's going to be no way to line it back up. And let's say you want to do a two color, same thing, you're not going to be able to line it up. Again, you're going to want to make sure all that ink clears through the screen. Boom, look at that. We're in business. You're gonna want to take your heat gun. What I have here is an industrial heat gun. If you don't have a heat gun, don't worry about it. You can use a blow dryer. It's gonna take a little bit longer with a blow dryer, but it will do the job. If you don't have a blow dryer, I mean, these heat guns are less than 20 bucks. Home Depot, Lowe's, something like that. You are gonna want to remember to cure it. If you don't do that, or if you don't cure it correctly, I mean, that print's gonna fall right off. It is gonna be a little bit more time consuming to do it this way, but you're definitely gonna wanna make sure you have enough curing time, and don't over cure it, because you're gonna end up burning the image. So you're gonna kind of have to play with that time a little bit. That's it right there. Look at that, guys. I know my cuts right there are a little bit choppy, but it does the job. You get the idea. Super cheap screen print. And there's the screen, ready for another print, and there it is. Now this method here isn't gonna hold water for a long period of time. What I mean by that is, once you start getting more orders and bigger orders, you can't keep doing this. You are gonna have to start investing in some better screen print equipment, but this is definitely a good way to start. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check you on the next one.